Hi, I'm Jami Tucker. My family and I moved to Milton a few years ago because we love the idea of what Milton stood for. Many of you have been here a long time, and many more have come here from other places. And all of you have added your viewpoints to the community. When we moved here, we loved the rural charm, the parks, the great schools, and we were really glad to get away from the political dysfunction that we saw in California. Our experience there was that we saw a political class in bed with large corporations. They were threatening to take away the rights of individuals and their families. And yes, I was in a lawsuit to protect 7 families from losing their homes to a large, powerful bank. And the fact is that our efforts won. The bank relented and those families were able to keep their homes. But we saw where things were going and we decided to move to a better place, and we came to Milton. And right away, I wanted to get involved. Immediately, I was appointed by the mayor to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. My husband and I became active in our community and in our schools. When COVID hit, my husband and I saw some of the same tactics that were used by our adversaries in California. We were shocked by what was happening here in Milton, and our experience in California warned us that similar tactics were following us here, and it definitely had us concerned. It culminated when our children who have special needs and medical issues were forced to wear a mask at school. So yes, I joined a lawsuit with several Milton families in the defense of our freedom that a parent should have the first right to make a medical decision for their child. Once again, we saw a powerful entity try to take away individual and family rights. So we joined with other concerned parents to change that. These families have tried every avenue to make their case known, to keep their rights, but in the end it turned out that the court system was the last available option. Determined to keep Milton the same as when we moved here, I decided to get involved. I'm not a person to just sit on the sidelines. When 9/11 happened, I joined the United States Navy. It was a call to action for me personally. When you see a problem requiring us to protect our country and our community, you get involved. And just as before, though, I find myself faced against a powerful enemy. There's a council coalition that is determined to maintain their power at any cost. While I have been personally determined to run a clean campaign, this council coalition, made up of those elected officials who have made endorsements within their own circle of friends, is supporting a group of people who have taken on a win at all costs, at any cost mentality. I've seen it before. These people have tried to tie me to the January 6th protest in Washington, D.C., to George Soros, among other things. Yes, they attacked the lawsuits I was a part of, although they never mentioned the fact that I was fighting for the rights of families to maintain their rights. They've even built a website specifically for the cause of slandering me. I think that's a first in Milton. My concern, however, is not personally for me. My concern is that these tactics are an intimidation tactic designed to intimidate people into silence. Do you want to know why good people don't run for office? Look at how I'm being attacked. That's why. This council coalition, who wants to maintain their circle of friends, is doing all that they can to maintain their power. The issue is that they don't go outside their circle. So what about you? Are you going to listen? Are they going to hear you if you're not in their circle? This campaign sheds a very strong light on that. I don't know if my opponent has left the confines of Crabapple to hear your words and your thoughts, but I personally have been door to door throughout this entire campaign to hear your words, to see your families, and to understand your concerns. I have, and I always will, make every effort to cover the corners of this great city. My opponent has stayed silent and allowed her supporters to issue their slanderous and libelous attacks. And I want you to know that this is not about me. This is about you and your voice. What happens when you have an issue? Is this group going to issue slanderous attacks against you and try to keep you silent? What happens when you have a need? Will someone from their circle come to visit you, or will you not be important enough to them? The contrast in this race is clear. While my opponent's supporters are rushing towards slanderous and libelous intimidation tactics, We are continuing to run a clean campaign. While they're accusing me of never having served in the military, we have joyfully helped put up veterans' memorial crosses in remembrance of our veterans who fought and died for our freedoms. While the Council Coalition sits behind their closed doors plotting how they will keep their power, I've been working to make sure that that power belongs to you. Your voice matters. Your perspective matters. The Council Coalition, despite their effort to maintain their power, they want you to be intimidated into silence or confused enough to not know the game that they are playing. But I've fought these battles before. I admit I never knew that the Council Coalition existed, but now that I personally am seeing it, I want you to see it too. I want you to know that every time they come together and they pat each other on the back despite the concerns that you have raised at City Hall, they're doing it because they think that only their voice matters. And that's not how it's supposed to be. So here we are now in the midst of early voting. I'm not going to go away. While they hope they can intimidate me and you into silence, threatening you and your voice with slanderous websites about me and my family, I want you to know that I'm standing strong. The family institution is worth it. Your family is worth it. No council coalition should be stronger than the God-given rights that you have and they are supposed to protect. That's where they're mistaken. Their circle is trying to protect themselves, and what I'm trying to do is protect you. So I ask for your support. Though my name is on the ballot, it's not about me. This election is about all of you, and it's about power and a separation of powers. Why do we have 7 council seats? When power is absolute, absolute power corrupts. It's important that you have someone to listen to you. I've made every effort to do that. I will continue to communicate with you. And if we haven't yet met personally, please feel free to reach out to me. I will be happy to meet with you. I don't pretend to be perfect. I know I will make mistakes. But whatever happens, I'll continue to press onward on behalf of your families, your children, and your hopes and dreams for the future of our community. We moved here because Milton's worth it. Milton is worth fighting for. It's going to be an exciting next several days. We are in early voting, and election day is November 30th. I am asking you to stand up and make your voice heard. I ask for your vote to keep your council honest, and I ask for your vote for me over the next 2 weeks so that together we can share our voices and influence the future of our great city. Thank you once again. I'm Jami Tucker, and I'm running to be your city councilwoman. Thank you.